So this is the second game we're going to show you today. It's called The Raven, Legacy of a Master Thief. It's a point-and-click adventure from the creators of the Book of Unwritten Tales, development studio called King Art, veterans in the point-and-click adventure genre. It's basically set in a kind of Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, Columbo kind of crime scenario. So it's, I have to apologize, it's a bit cropped, so sometimes you don't see the subtitles, but there's always subtitling. It's classic point-and-click adventure, full 3D. As you can see, it's very beautiful, very cinematic. They really wanted to give you the feeling that you play through a movie, basically, and play through one of those crime films where you're trying to get to know the characters, get to know their motivations and their personal goals, and sooner or later solve the mystery of the Raven. The Raven was a master thief who years ago stole precious artifacts from museums, from rich people. He was a kind of glamorous, theatrical thief who didn't hurt people, but just did very spectacular crimes. And then he was shot by a French detective, but now years later, there are these crimes happening again. And again, there is the trademark found at the site, the black raven feather. And now the police is wondering what's happening. Is this a copycat? Is this did they never catch the right guy? This is somebody trying to just fake being the Raven. And this is what you're trying to find out. You're trying to find out, solve the mystery of the Raven. The game is split into 3 episodes, but comes as one season pass. So you buy the entire game because it's one long story, so it wouldn't make sense to play just one episode of it. In every episode, you get your cliffhangers, you get to think about your suspicions and think about who done it, basically. And in every episode, you will also switch characters. So in the first one, you play this lovely fella who is a Swiss policeman, Jakob Anton Zellner, who wants to prove to this French detective that he could be of help in apprehending the Raven. He wants to prove he's not just a simple policeman, he's got the mind of a detective. But as you progress through the story, you will switch to other characters, and you'll see parts of the story from a different point of view. And this will give you more insight on the story, on your suspicions. It will maybe change what you thought was, all your suspicions that you had about certain characters will maybe change as soon as you've talked to them with a different character and seen the story from a different point of view. And after you've played all 3 episodes, you will finally be able to solve the mystery of the Raven. As you can see, you've got your inventory with your objects that you've collected that you can combine. Very classic point and click. It's all very subtle and to keep you really in this filmic point of view. If you go to the right upper corner, this is where you'll again have a notebook that will tell you, give you some hints on where you are, what you've already found out, stuff like this, just to remind you of what you've already done. And you will also collect detective points for each time you solve a riddle. And whenever you do this, you can use these points. If you get stuck with a riddle, you can use these points to give you a little hint and thus progress through this particular puzzle so that you don't get stuck. Everything to keep you in this story, in the flow of the story. Also, to make it even more realistic, they implemented a realistic inventory, so it means you can't take a chair and put it in your pocket. It will not go into your inventory, but the character will just hold it in his hands. For example, a big axe, you can't put it in your pocket, so he will hold it in his hands and you can use it with what you can find around and to solve puzzles, but then he's going to put it back. Also, as a very unique goodie for this game, because trailers don't lend themselves that well for point-and-click adventures, we've created an interactive graphic novel, which is basically a very reduced point-and-click adventure in a completely different art style, but with the same voice actors, from the same writer and in the same high quality. And this tells you the pre-story of the Raven, and is available for free for iOS, for Android, and for browser-based. So you can get a first taste of the story of the Raven, and it leads you straight into the main game. The main game will be out on July 23rd. This is when the season pass can be. It can already be pre-ordered, and on 23rd of July, the first episode will come out, and then every month there's another episode. It comes out on PC, Mac, Linux, on Xbox Live, and on PSN. So basically on every platform that you can think of. And you can just pick and choose which platform suits you best. And we hope that you will enjoy the whole thrill of trying to solve the mystery. And maybe you will be very surprised. That's all down to you and your detective skills.